Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Concrete with the Hosses. We're on a patio repair. We did this about 9 months ago. And I always say concrete wants to crack in the center. In dead center, we have a hairline crack. Now I didn't cut it center because we have this bump out, we have deck posts. So I moved my cuts around a little bit, and sure enough, we got a crack almost dead center. So we're going to go ahead and repair what we can here. It's not real big, so it's going to be hard to get material in there. So what I like to use on this, it's just crack filler from Sakrete. You can get it at any local supplier, whether at Lowe's or Home Depot. So I just cut a real tiny little hole in the top of the bottle and give it a good shake, because it's thicker on the bottom than on the top. So give it a good shake, and you just want to try and force it into that crack. Now it's not going to go in there because it's just too thick. But you can see as soon as I rub it in, now I've filled that crack in with the material. So I just wipe it all clean, and Matt comes right behind me. He'll dip that sponge, or he'll do a little sprinkle while that's still wet, and he'll just dust it right on top there and cover that whole stone. If you do the whole stone, then it won't look like one little space. So we got a crack in here. It's going to be hard to get that in there, so you just use a little bit, and then just the edge of the sponge, just work it into that groove, into that cut, and then Matt does the same thing. Just a little bit. Even you can take your finger, it'll get pretty sore quickly in there. And this will seal that crack up. All we're trying to do is keep the moisture out of this crack. Basically just one stone at a time, working it right in there. You can see how it, keep doing that. You can see how it highlights the crack with the material, but that's how you know the material is in there. Right there. And I'm putting that nozzle right on the crack and sort of forcing it in there as best I can. Wiping it clean, and it matches colors it. Everything's nice and dry, nice and clean, except for a couple of leaves on it. You don't want to do a long area. This stuff dries really fast. One stone at a time. That's why I like to have two people on it. That way Matt can color right behind me before the product dries. If it dries before you get the color on it, then you're going to see that white grayish look. Just forcing it right in that crack. Now this crack is from shrinkage. It's not from anything heaving here. So chances are real good it's not going to open up again. But if it does open again, you can always do this again, because it's pretty fast, pretty simple. this is our 4th job for today. I promised Matt we'd be out of here real quick. Now, if the crack was much bigger, you could use caulking in the same method. They make flowable caulking, or they make, you know, backer rod that you can tuck in there if the gaps are too big. Almost done. I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but whenever I put that on there, it's almost just settles right, even though it's a tiny, skinny little crack, this stuff is almost like water. That it is, just with a little bit of working it back and forth, it's settling right in that crack on its own. And then as your spun gets too much on it, grab a new one. So you can see how light that is. Matt will dust it with the, this is the same antiquing we used when we originally did it. So we just have a little bit of dust on it. But here's where it was, and you can barely see it. Just give this all a nice blend. This dust will just blow away and wash away. Is that why you were asking for the leaf blower? Yeah. Not a bad idea to bring the leaf blower with you for when you're done. I didn't think of that this morning. All right, so we'll keep an eye on this. We'll look at it again in the spring. If it opens up at all, we'll go ahead and redo that, as well as a coat of sealer. Everything else seems to be holding up very nice. Real nice. All right, so that was our first crack repair video. So if you like that, hit that subscribe and like button. Tell all your friends. Let's keep this channel growing. I haven't said that for a while. So thanks for tuning in. See ya.